Oil, I say oil. Super Southern one. Oil. I don't even know how to say it like how to y'all. Oil. O-I-L. Yeah. Guys. I go motor oil, like tin full. I mean, Southern Community College, that should be mandatory that they fix that. They should write OIL on the board and I just go oil. They go, all right, we're going to take care of that, all right? There's a pretty good chance you're going to be working with a lot of that. I always joke about my dad on the road. He's like, it's everybody's little dream, travel with your dad when you're 45 years old. get a CPAP machine hooked up in the bus. Everybody loves it.
No.
Yeah, they have a CPAP, yeah. There's a few comics that I won't blow their spot. I don't have a CPAP, but you get a bunch of comics in their 40s. That bus has some CPAP machines. There's cords coming out of every bunk on there. Looks funny. Like you're walking through behind a computer. Like it just.
Krispy Kreme had, if you bring in your report card, for every A, you get a donut.
That would be a good ascent. They should do. They still do that?
I don't know. I don't know if it was just the one by our house.
Is that how you got into Notre Dame?
Say less.
Straight A's this whole childhood.
Dang, dude, this guy's killing it.
What if we all find out it wasn't Krispy Kreme never did this? It was just your family did this to you. Krispy Kreme's like, I don't even know what he's talking about.
He's like, let me go in there first and make sure they're still doing it. Slips in his box. He's like, when my son comes in,
yeah,
a 12-year charade.
He goes, I don't even know if they're open. Let me run in real fast. His dad goes, hey, I got a son. You're noticed. And
there's a senior photo.
Thank you. I love stand-up comedians. We have to go through, I believe, the most unique challenges of all the art forms to rise to the top. This is a true story. I went to this show in South Dakota in a hotel to 11 people and a parrot. The parrot was in the back and would not shut up during the show. The parrot would heckle me with Barrett, not funny. Barrett, never gonna make it. So now all my negative thoughts about myself are in a parrot's voice. Barrett can't read. Barrett should never worn a white tux. Hey, parrot, if you're watching this tonight, and I know you are, look at me now, parrot. Here I am in the great Hollywood, in front of the only people that matter on this earth. And tonight, I am presenting, Barrett not nominated, presenting Best Stand-Up Comedy Performance at the Golden Globes. Now let's look at the nominees for Best Stand-Up Comedy Performance.
Can we fill Nate in on Aaron's take on
Aaron
Elvis?
hates Elvis.
No, that's not really what I said. I said, as big as he is and as much of a cultural icon as he is, I don't think anybody cares about his music.
I think you don't.
I never hear his music talked about in that way.
Who are you talking to about Elvis?
Nobody.
That's the point, yeah.
I know, because but you would never be. Elvis was for the people, man. Y'all were not the Webbers. Yeah, of course you didn't like Elvis. He goes, why would you?
Bach.
He goes, yeah. I think people like his music, and I think they listen to his music. I know what you mean. The idea that
you think more people listen to the Beatles than Elvis?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even close. Let's go to Spotify. Let's look at the hard data.
48 million monthly listeners. Go to Beatles.
33 million.
33 million. Look at that. Spotify. The Beatles are barely even a band. There goes. He goes there. Buddy, out of your mind. You're crazy. Your whole system's falling apart. Spotify is your life. This is all you know.
They say the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese, right? Because the first one dies.
They're eating two different things. One's eating the worm and one's eating cheese. So I assume the cheese is better. The other one's like, well, I didn't even know there was cheese.
Right. Well, the first
so is that
one,
the point?
The first one comes and takes the risk and gets caught, and then the cheese is left on the trap.
The early bird.
It's two different.
It's two different sayings.
Yeah.
So the early bird. Oh, you're saying it from the worm's perspective.
That's where you're. But a bird wants the worm,
There's also a lot of
and
worms.
a mouse wants cheese. So they're both getting exactly what they want.
Not the first
The
mouse.
first mouse gets killed by the trap.
Oh, does it say? Oh, the second mouse gets the cheese.
Yeah.
Is what it says.
Yeah.
So a saying on its own is the second mouse gets the cheese.
Yeah.
That's its own saying.
I would think so.
One thing my daughter does miss is she was starting to ride the bus, which was very fun. And when she first started riding the bus, we switched schools, and it was in first grade. We walked first day of school. We walked her to the bus stop. It was very, very fun day. And then at the end of the school day, someone from the school called my cell phone. They have my wife's cell phone and they have my cell phone. So they called my cell phone and they said, "Hey, do you know what bus number your daughter's supposed to be on?" And I said, "I'm her dad." I was like, "This is how you thought you saw a mom and dad cell phone and you said, I bet the dad knows." I mean, do you have parents? Were you raised with a family? Have you ever seen families out before? You thought, let's call the husband? I bet he knows. Unless there's two husbands, you should never call a husband a day in your life. I would rather you ask a lady that doesn't know her walking by. I think she could get to the bottom of it quicker than I can. I just said, all right, I'll get her. What's the name of this school?
I mean, he cuts his Doritos bag to not get his hands dirty.
That's right. Smart.
Oh, you did? What do you mean? You cut it?
Well, you know, if you get the jumbo
Yeah.
bag of chips,
This
wants to
is
reach
Big
in.
Ben talking. He goes, go ahead, Big Ben. Tell us how you
Big money.
eat this
just because
feed
you
of
eat the, you don't eat
Doritos.
the little bags,
Yeah.
any chip, you don't want to reach all the way into the jumbo family size bag. So you cut it down so you just can reach in.
You cut it from the get go.
Well, that would be silly.
Yeah. So you wait.
The chips are spilling out.
Because when you eat chips, does your wife see you grab the Doritos, and then you stare at the scissors and you go, and you grab them because she knows you're going to be getting in. You know,
I have 3 kids, so yes.
I'm not talking about the kids. I'm talking about you. If you have a sad day, do you grab a full bag of Doritos and a pair of scissors, and your wife just knows to leave you alone for the rest of the night because you're gonna.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Well, we're both big Titans fans, so we desperately need a quarterback.
So we need you.
Would you be willing to come out of retirement?
My arm works just fine and is better than a lot of guys in the
Perfect.
league right now.
Yeah.
But everything
Enough said.
from my waist down would not work.
Yeah.
Knees, ankles, hips,
Oh,
that
yeah.
wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So if I could put the Dan Marino high tops on,
Mhm.
protect my ankles, give me a line that could not let anyone close to me,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
could just throw it. Sure.
I don't think the Titans have that.
If we get a good offensive line, we know got a guy that's willing to come back. So
We do have a guy that's willing to come back.
All right.
Ben Roethlisberger will come and play for the Titans.
That's our social media clip for this week.
Yeah, it's just that. And he's going to come back.
I had a turn. I was like, "I'm sorry. What did you say?" I'm sorry. And he was like, "Oh, sorry. Honest mistake." And I was like, "I don't know." That's the next phase of my life. Getting up early. You know, we're getting up at 9:15 a little bit. Yeah, I've never seen my daughter go to school, but I've been close. I'm cold now too. That I'm old. 45, I just get cold. I always have to bring a jacket. It could be 135 degrees outside, and I will walk around with a jacket. And I see these young people, and I just think, where are your jackets? My body's falling apart. My shoulder hurts because I stand on stage like this. It's crazy. This was a huge mistake to get into this. If I had known that this would be a big problem, I would have probably tried to not make it a habit. It is very exciting to be here. Not all shows, though, are like this. I did a show in a prison once. All the way in it. We went in it. There's few more people than this. We go in, let's say like you guys are like the inmates. So I'm like sitting here, I'm doing my dumb jokes. None of them work. Every joke I have involves being outside in the past 30 years. Like nothing's relatable. I'm like, traffic's crazy. Do you guys remember? Who remembers traffic? An inmate gets up and starts walking towards me. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. You know, like I've seen movies, like he's going to use me to break out. So I don't want to point at him, you know, but I am trying to draw. I'm like, the weather's been like pretty crazy. Should he be walking up like that? Turns out he's just going to the bathrooms. They're right behind me. He's a good guy. I judged him on what he was wearing and where we were at. It was my fault. He goes in, the bathrooms are not, they're like open. So I'm against this like brick wall, and I'm like standing, it goes like halfway up. So it's me, a brick wall, and then the urinals. And he just comes out and then comes and pees at picks the one right behind me. And so it's just me and him just standing there. He's peeing, I'm like trying to talk. And he just pees without even kind of a problem. It was the most confidence I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, I thought, whatever you think this guy did it, all right? That's not, an innocent man doesn't pee like that. That's a guy, he's not getting out. I took social media off my phone. I have Instagram still on there. I feel like it's still okay. It's like, it's safe. Twitter's like, I feel like it's just like celebrities telling you you're the worst. That's all it is, all day. Whether it's like the presidential election, everybody's furious. And then there's a big pipeline thing. Remember that? They're like, we got to stop this pipeline. I'm like, yeah, we do. I don't even know where this is at. I couldn't find it. Right now, I don't know what was in the pipe. I don't know if the pipe was above ground, but it was like, we got to stop. People have stuff there, and you can't be throwing pipes. You can't just throw pipes everywhere you want to throw pipes, you know? And it just... I follow Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, I'm a big fan. Just want to see what that guy's life is like. He tweets nothing fun out. I've learned that. He tweeted out 100 million sharks get killed a year by people. Just threw that up. No solution. I'm just at home in Tennessee, nowhere near an ocean. So many sharks. If you told me to guess how many sharks were alive, I would never have guessed 100 million. I don't know, a million? I don't know. Like, who knows how many sharks there are? I tweeted back, I was like, all right, dude, I won't kill any sharks. I don't know. Is that what you wanted out of this? I won't do it. I've never even been near a situation where I thought I might have to kill this shark. Never even met a guy that's pet a shark, but I'm not getting involved now. Facebook is more, that's your like friends telling you you're the worst. It's more local. No one has a good day on Facebook. It's everybody's worst days of their lives. And you'll be like the first thing you look at. You like wake up and you like cut it on and then just be like, do you want to see a murder video? You're like, I don't at all. I just woke up. I'm just trying to see whose birthday it is, you know? And they're just like, well, we already started playing it. So, and you're like, all right, I guess I'll watch that. My wife gets mad because I don't like any of her photos. She's like, why don't you like any of my photos, you know? And it's like, is this not enough, us living together and stuff? And I did like it. When we took it, I said I like it. I told you I like it. I looked at it. I'm in it. I'm in the photo. There's not much more I can do with this photo. We've been together my entire life. Since we started dating when I was like 21. I'm 37 now. And like I went from like my mom to her. So I don't even know what it feels like to not have some lady be like, I don't know if I would do that, you know. And now we have a daughter, so I'll never know. I'll never know. We get in fights, you know, still. And when you're married for a long time, fighting is just, it can happen, it's open 24 hours, basically, at any time. We got in a fight recently at 3 a.m. We woke up to get in this fight. we have a dog, and our dog freaks out when it thunders. And so we have sedatives to give her because there's only so many times you can tell a dog it's just thunder before you're like, she's not getting it, you know. And you're like, just take this, all right? So I woke up. I had to wake my wife up, and I was like, hey, where are the sedatives at? And she was like, they're at the top of the cabinet. So I go get them. I looked at the bottle, and the bottle said they were expired. So I had to wake my wife back up, and I was like, hey, these say they're expired. And she was like annoyed. She was like, they're not expired, all right? They're new pills in an old pill bottle. And I was like, all right, I should have thought of that. You know, that's my fault. I mean, we have people come to our house all the time and they get milk and they're like, is this milk expired? And I have to go, that's new milk in an old milk jug. Are you the stupidest person I've ever met? Why would you not assume that's what it is? That's roughly what I told her. It wasn't as fun as that. And then she goes all in and tells me it doesn't matter because dog medicine can't even expire. Which I was like, you've never even heard a rumor about that. You don't know that. We don't know any dog medicine people. I know who she knows. We don't know one dog medicine maker that's texting her like, hey, we're doing some pretty big things at the dog medicine factory. I wanted to let you know first, but we've invented medicine that can't expire. So feel free to tell your husband at 3 a.m. We do have a daughter as well. We took her to Disneyland when she was 2, and people told us that was a mistake. We didn't ask anybody, but they were happy to tell us. And they were like, you're just wasting money, you know, she's not going to remember it. And I was like, I don't know. She believes in Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse is like real to her. It's like fun to see her get excited, you know. Should I just lock her in a closet and be like, do you remember yesterday? No? Well, until you start remembering things, I'm not going to waste any of my money on you, all right? We're trying to discipline her too, and it's hard to discipline kids nowadays. You know, you can't spank them. You can't talk about it in a microphone for sure. So it's like, what do? You got to hope it works out. Spanking got like blown out of proportion because like you would see like a video of a lady like fighting her kid in a Walmart parking lot, and they were like, no, you're not supposed to spank. You're like, that was a regular fight. That's not like what we're talking about. I was spanked. My generation was. It was fine, you know. You ever talk to really old generations? They just act like they were beat with bats. They say stuff to you like, that doesn't sound like that should have been happening. You should have called the police or something. Like, the police would hit us as well. Everybody was hitting us. It's fun to be back home. I got my 20-year high school reunion is this year, and I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty invested. I didn't go to college, so this is like the last group of people I met. So I mean, I cannot wait. I love it. I went to the 10-year, loved it. Suggested a 15, no one wanted it. Finally, the 20 is here. My buddy told me, he's like, I'm going to lose weight for our 20-year reunion. And that always like feels, you know, you're like, why don't you lose it for the people that were in your life every day for the past 20 years? You've made your wife stare at your moose body for 15 years. Why don't you tone it up for her a little bit? He's like, no, I'll just save it for the people I hate. I'm going as is. Just, you know, this is what happened. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I didn't work out then. I didn't start when I left. So I'm just seeing how it's going to go. I do zero working out. Not even, I mean, it's not like you're like, whoa, wow. Like it's like, yeah, we figured that. Every hotel I go to, I ask if they have a gym. I don't even have clothes that I could work out in. There's no way. I'm like, is it 24 hours? I was going to start tonight at midnight. So I was wondering if that's what I've learned. What's easier than working out is just tell people that you used to weigh 300 pounds. That's a lot. They don't know, you know? So I've never weighed 300 pounds, but I look pretty amazing for a guy that used to weigh 300 pounds. You're like, yeah, I got tired of being tired, all right? You know? Today's my cheat day, obviously, but normally I'm pretty strict. I just don't eat anything healthy. I like apples, but I only like pre-cut apples. I won't eat a whole one, you know? I'm not a horse, all right? So Could you guys do some work over there at the apple factory? You know, however apples get here. I've watched a lot of the documentaries that try to make you eat better. Like I watched Fed Up, and it's about all the food that I eat every day. There was nothing in it that I haven't had recently. You know that saying, like, I haven't had that in forever? I haven't said that in forever. There's nothing I haven't had. Airheads, that's usually something like, oh, are they still doing good? Yeah, they're doing great. They got more colors now. It's pretty fun, you know? I go to too much, like, chain stuff. Like, that's, I can't think outside of, like, going to, like, a chain place. And they mess up all the time. But I still just go back. I go to McDonald's. I'll have, like, the nerve to be, like, in the drive-thru, like, and be like, hey, guys, I said no onions, and this has onions. And they just look at me like, you're too old to be here, man. Don't come here. This is not a real restaurant, all right? I'm 11 years old. That guy's 90. Go to, like, you live near here. Go to a regular place. I had a whole issue at a Starbucks. I went into Starbucks, ordered iced coffee with milk. Nothing crazy, you know. And the guy, like, looked at me weird. You know, like, when you're, like, get something in your head, you're like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what I said. But you're, like, too far in. You're both touching the credit card. So you just got to go, all right, let's see what he thinks he heard. And I go to the end of the counter, and he gives me milk with ice in it. I had to ask him. I go, what is that? He goes, milk with ice in it. I was like, what do you think? Do I look like a psycho to you, dude? I've never ordered milk publicly in the history of my life. I've never once in my life been out and thought, you know what I could go for right now? A cup of milk. I'd love to do that. I'd love a cup of milk. I'd like to drink it out of a straw, something else I've never done. Let's do that. And then let's put ice in it. Let's do something I didn't even know you could do. Let's do all that in front of all these people I don't know. And it was a Starbucks that was like in a Target. It wasn't even its own Starbucks. It was a Starbucks that's like, we don't really do everything. And I was like, do you do milk with ice in it by any chance? Is that something? I just go to all of them. And I still go. I go to, everybody messes up. I want them to do so much better. I went to Walmart. I go there. I'm fine with them, you know. I'm a Walmart guy. Like, that's where I'm at. I went into one. I was trying to, and Walmart's getting a little, like, sometimes when you go in there, some of the people that work there are like, some of them I don't even know. You'll be talking to them. I'm like, I don't even know if you work here, if you're a customer. Like, it's 50-50. But they're willing to help, which is nice. I went into one. I was trying to buy a hammock. So I go in, I go back to where I imagine the hammocks live. And I went up to this guy and I was like, hey man, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, what's a hammock? And it threw me off enough that I was like, am I saying it wrong? I was like, I think I'm saying it wrong because you know what it is. And I was like, is it hammock with a T? Does that sound right? Like, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, we're out of hammocks. We're out of them. It's hammock season. And I left, went to my car, Googled where to buy a hammock. And Google was like, do you mean hammock? It's like, I sure do, Google. Where were you at during all of this? The other embarrassing part of that is, so it happened, and then I called like a comic buddy of mine to tell him the story. And I was like, this is funny, right? But then I asked him, I was like, hey, do you think if I tell people I was buying a hammock, is that going to come off like I'm bragging? Like, for some reason, in my head, that's just like a wealthy purchase. Like, that's a hammock at Walmart. Like, an audience would be like, whoa, all right. I didn't know we were just hearing about how good you're doing. Man, what's it like to have two trees that close together? Is it nice? I heard it looks nice. I've seen pictures. I've had my one like fancy purchase. I had LASIK surgery, and we were living in New York, so I had it. It was in Manhattan. Got a deal on it, so that helps knock it down. It worked. You know, I can't see this side of the room, but besides that, this side I see almost too good. And No, it was fine. And they did a couple things that were weird. Besides the deal I got, they want to show you the video, like before you have it. They're like, here, watch eye surgery, and you're like, just do it. I don't want to watch. Like, I trust. We're in a building. This seems like a real thing, so just go. If I was doing that out of some guy's van, I might ask that guy for a video. But you know, be normal. And the other thing, they didn't make me bring anybody. And then I was like, should I bring someone to take me home? And they're like, no, most people can see. I was like, you said most. You sure? It's not a big deal. I'll tell someone where I'm at. They're like, no, don't. Did you tell anybody where you're at? Don't tell anybody. So I go in. They give you a Valium. You go back and you do it. Then you get done. They give you those big sunglasses. And then I'm on a Valium. They're like, you good? You're like, yeah. This is the funnest. This is like the funnest surgery I've ever. This has been a fun day, to be honest. And they're like, can you see? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, so I go down. I'm in Manhattan. So we get out and I start walking to go to the subway, get a few blocks away. And then my eyes start hurting so bad. And I just want to keep them shut. You don't want to open them. And so I'm like, I can't get home. So I get my phone. I'm like blinking and I get to my wife and I call her. And I was like, you got to come get me. I can't see. You know, and I was like, and you should have come too, by the way, all right? Like, why are you not here? So I was like, you got to come find me. I don't know where I'm at. I've made turns. So I was like, just go back to that place and then just expand your search around buildings until you find me. And I just stood I put my hand on a building and I just stood like, because I was afraid I would like drift out in the street and just be like just shuffling. The next thing I know, I'm in the middle of the road, just big sunglasses, which wouldn't be that different for New York. And so I'm just standing, I stood with my hand like this for like 30 minutes. I mean, we were to the point with, if anybody confidently just walked up, they could have taken me home. Next person that goes, let's go, I was living with them for the rest of my life. It's fun doing comedy with, like, 'cause you get to travel so much. I fly a bunch, and it never gets easy when you fly. Like, you just think, like, every plane you're on is going to go down. It's not in a dark, you know, it's never relaxing. I had, I've got on a plane once, and, you ever get on and just look at everybody on it, and it just looks like a group that would go down in a plane crash. Like, for some reason, you're like, I feel like I've seen all of us before. I had a pilot tell us right before we took off that he was retiring, and this was his last flight. You're like, all right, why don't you just say that when we land, dude? Like, it's not like we're gonna be different people. We're the same people. He's basically just like, either way, this is my last flight. So, all I can tell you is I'm not flying again after that. I'm trying to get better. Like, when you travel now, you go to like different cities. It's like to actually go explore the town and like see stuff. I went to Wilmington, North Carolina, and yeah, a couple of us. All right, and they have a big battleship there, and it's in it looks like it's a river because you can see across. It doesn't look big, but it's probably part of the ocean. It's like one of those where you're like, could I drink that water? Could I not? You know. I don't know, but you can't ask that. You can't ask someone how water works. So I didn't even go on it, but it's there. I just wanted you to not think I didn't see it if you go. But I looked up some other stuff to do. They have a thing there called Cape Fear Serpentarium, and it's just a guy's house, and he has a bunch of snakes, lizards, and a crocodile just in his house. He has the world record for being bitten by a viper snake. It's 7 times. Which is it's a record no one is trying to get. It's so many times. He was bitten 3 times and then 4 more times after that. That's how many times he was bitten. 3's a ton, and then 4 more after is just too many. But I was like, I gotta go see this. This is gonna be amazing. So I go, I walk in. Right when you walk in, he's got a lobby set up. And in the lobby, he has 2 parrots and then a bunch of anti-government posters. That's like a real, he just has those things. It's like 2 parrots and like a lot of stuff on chemtrails. You know, he's basically just like, this is what I would love to talk to you about. And you're like, I just want to see some snakes, man. He's like, all right, but maybe later could I corner you and talk to you about it? And you're like, I don't know, let's see how the snakes go. So I went and I paid. It was $9, obviously cash only in a place like that. And so I give him my $9. I go up. First snake I see is a gaboon viper. It's a crazy venomous snake. And there's a story written out about how venomous it is. And the story was that these two kids broke into the Washington National Zoo in the early 1980s to steal a gaboon viper for whatever reason. So they get it, they put it in a trash bag. When they're walking out, they have the trash bag over their shoulder as if they forgot what they just did. The snake bites through the trash bag because it's a 1980s trash. It's not like a Glad one now, you know. This was like when trash bags were not doing good. So it bit the kid. The kid went into a coma for 4 days, and then it was like, that's all we know. We don't know what happened. And you're like, that's the whole reason I'm even reading this, to see what... Did he die? Is he stronger? Are you him? Like, what's the rest of the story? So if you ever go, and you should go, if you ever go, 3 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, he feeds these things. So I looked at my watch. It was like 3 p.m. I was like, all right, we'll go watch these things eat. So the first snake they go to feed is the black mamba. It's another crazy venomous snake that should not be in America outside of a zoo, especially not at a guy's house that hates America. So we're like, all right, we got to go see this. So we get down there. He puts a chicken wired fence around him. So if a snake gets out, he'll just get out of that fence pretty quick. The fence has holes in it that I would describe as a little bit bigger than a black mamba. And I mean, we're leaning on it. We're getting kids up against it. We're like, no, you get up here. Push. Their kids' faces are against it. So we all stand around. He's a bucket of dead mice. He grabs a mouse. He throws it in there. He eats it. We all cheer, and then we move on. Next one we go to is 12-foot anaconda. This snake is huge. He props open the glass cage with a 2x4. That's how big it is. Props it up. No chicken wire fence. It's non-venomous. Worst case scenario, we're all going to wrestle this snake. So we're all standing there around. He gets his bucket back out, but this time it's got dead rabbits in it. And they're the biggest rabbits I've ever seen in my... I would have paid $9 to see what that rabbit's life was like. You know, just to see that rabbit drive up that day. He gets these giant, two-handed tongs that they look like they're for this. So he grabs a rabbit. He kind of steps back. He's going to make the snake come out and get it like he's hunting. So it's the rabbit, it's him, children, and then us. I mean, no, he's the only employee there. So we stand there. Luckily, the snake comes out. He gets the rabbit. He's constricts it. It falls to the ground. He lifts it. He puts it back in. He goes, well, Easter Bunny's dead. Makes that joke for the kids. Yeah. And we waited for him to say he was joking. He did not. Yeah, he stared at the kids harder, almost to assure it. That's what it is. Then he goes, all right, you have permission to touch the snake. No one's asking. We're walking away. No one was like, I bet this is when we can pet him. They're leaving, and he makes the kids pet him. And they most don't want to touch the snake. Most are petting the rabbit he was eating. It was like the 30s. There's no rules in this place. It's like riding a ski lift. You ever been on a ski lift and halfway up you're like, hey, my bar didn't lock. Should it have locked? I don't do this ever. So the last one is the crocodile. We go to the crocodile. It's a 10-foot crocodile. This crocodile has been staring out at his cage at everybody. He's trying to remember you for supporting this guy. He's like, I'll find you one day. I mean, if he was in here right now with a hat on, I wouldn't be surprised. That's how nervous I am when I go out. So we all stand around. The crocodile's there. He unlocks the door. Door's unlocked. He gets his rabbit bucket, and he grabs a rabbit, and he's going to just open the door and throw it in there and eat it. And watch it. He grabs the rabbit. He gets it right here. The crocodile sees the rabbit and comes forward, hitting the door, which is unlocked and we learn also broken. Hits the door. The crocodile's momentum just takes him out into the carpet they were staying with us. The kid, there's a 10-foot crocodile just on the floor. So everybody just starts losing it. It's like a Godzilla movie. People are just running. Everybody's crying. People are crying real hard. Just bawling. Everybody's dead behind you. You just assume it. You don't even look. Some lady was like, my husband. I was like, your husband's gone, lady. He's gone. We shouldn't be here. There's so many signs that say we shouldn't be here. And we just leave, because the cobra was next. She's like, I don't know if the cobra's in a cage. Who knows where this cobra's at? He might have been watching this with us. This is a real story. And here's my proof. I have proof to this story. Is there's a TripAdvisor review from that day. It's not my review. I'm not a review guy. But someone reviewed it. And you can look at it. Go to TripAdvisor. Type in Wilmington, North Carolina, Cape Fear Serpentarium. When you get there, go to the reviews. They have 4 stars to 1 stars. If you want to see what I'm talking about, I would start at the 1 stars. They're all pretty fun to read, though. You know, 4 stars love it. They think the place is great. 3 and 2 stars, they're usually pretty hung up on the propaganda in the lobby. They can't get past that. And then just go to the 1 star that says, crocodile got out of the cage. It's the best 1-star review I've ever heard in my life. Like, just the most, oh, did that poster hurt your feelings? Did a crocodile get out when you were there? Because he got out with us, and we didn't think he should have been out with us. So 1 star. All right, thank you guys so much. A pizza party is my nightmare. I'll have friends over for pizza, so I'll be like, all right, we got to order pizza. And she goes, how much? I go, order the most. I don't want her out of pizza in front of my friends. And she goes, just call and ask them. I go, I can't call these 40-year-old dudes and just be like, how much pizza do you think you're going to eat tonight? They have a family. They work in a building right now. And you may just call them back, did you have big lunch today? No, I would try to save money, so I need to know exactly how much pizza you're going to eat in 8 hours. I don't read. Yeah, and I think that matters. Reading is the key to smart, I believe. And I don't do it. I think it's caught up to me. I want to do it. I like the idea of reading. I even buy books. But these books are the most words. And it's every book. You just open it and you're like, what are you talking about? And they don't let up. Every page, just more words. How about you put some blank pages in there? Why don't you let me get my head above water for 2 seconds? You know, I feel like in a marriage, you have one of you is a dreamer. You know, money's not real. Let's have fun. Let's go do fun stuff as much as we can. And the other person hates fun. And that's how you make a marriage. You can't have 2 dreamers. You're going to be homeless in an hour. You need someone that just walks around. Is fun happening? I'd like to put a stop to that. Are y'all having fun? Stop it. Is the air conditioner on? Turn it off. I married my dad, is who I married. Someone gave me an Under Armour shirt. Do you know those? It's like skin tight. Like it just shows the worst parts of your body. I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. You know, like in plastic surgery, how they draw like markers on you and stuff? Like they should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see where we're going to go after the target areas. I always tell people I got to get back in shape, but I mean, I've never been in shape. So Nick's a little person, very fun. We started a comedy together. He, very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and a guy was sitting near us with a big husky dog. And Nick just goes, hey, you think that's a wolf? And I just said, yeah, I do think it's a wolf. They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, should I go ask him about it? I was like, I mean, absolutely. You know, I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here. And I watched him walk over to him and just go, excuse me, is that a wolf? And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, what? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop? And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? Homework's fun. 1st and 2nd grade was awesome. 3rd grade, you're like, okay. They throw some stuff in, you're like, oh, all right. All right. It's, okay. Learning it earlier than we used to, huh? I don't even know if that's true, but... She brought home Common Core math. That's fun. It's a new math they invented. No heads up. Just give it to parents that never learned it. It's just a whole new. I mean, it's unbelievable. Why when they bring it home, you got to watch a 40-minute YouTube video on Common Core math. I don't even understand it. If you know it, if you don't know Common Core, it's just a new math. And the goal of Common Core is to use one sheet of paper for every problem. You just want to keep breaking the problem down. You put the problem at the top, and it just keeps going. And then what's even funnier is you see old math in the middle of it. As you break it down, old math gets in there, and you're like, oh, just do that at the top. I don't even know what we're doing. And it's not like old math isn't working. I mean, old math's doing, I don't get incorrect change everywhere just going, this stupid old math. It's a long way to get at the same answer. I told my wife, I go, it feels like if you knocked on my front door and I opened it, and you say, can I come in? And I was like, do you mind walking in and coming in through the back door? And you'd be like, does the front door not work? I'm like, no, it works. I use it. A lot of people still use it. But the new way is to go jump the fence and come in the back and meet me at this same spot. Well, even though I make fun of Common Core, I have learned stuff from elementary homework, which is embarrassing. I'm 41. My daughter's 8. Nothing should ever come out of her mouth that I'm like, what? What was that? I learned when to use a or an in a sentence. I mean, I didn't know that there was a rule in play. I thought you felt it out, you know? You just go, that feels right, and that's what you do. I do the same thing with a comma. I never known where a comma's supposed to go. If I feel a comma's coming, I try to get out of that sentence so bad. I mean, and if I can, I just put a comma and see if someone says something, you know? If they're like, is that a comma? I'm like, isn't my comma button has been sticking on my phone. My eyes can read good. It's my brain. My eyes are such good readers. I feel so bad because they're attached to this dumb brain. I mean, they're looking at these words and they're like, you're not getting any of this, man? That's the 5th time we've read that sentence. Let's try another one. Fiction, nonfiction. I don't know which one's the truth. I read every book as the truth is how I handle it. And from what I can tell, we have a pretty big wizard problem in this country right now. When we were doing these driving shows, we were all on a bus together. I convinced Nick that I didn't know who Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding were. Nick is learning this, that I do know who they are. He's learning right now with you. I never told him. I absolutely know who they are. He brought all his references are just 90s sports references. He only can reference the 90s. And so he brings up Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, and I was like, who's that? He's like, what? You don't know who they are? And I was like, I don't think anybody knows who they are. And he goes, dude, it's like a huge story. It's like figure skating is like a mafia hit. I was like, I've never heard this, dude. Don't you think I would have heard it? I mean, I was like, no one knows this. He's like, he's losing his mind. I go, they should make a 30 for 30 if it's that good. He goes, they did. Another guy's like, they should make a movie about it. He goes, there's a movie. He's just losing it. It was weird to not have my phone. I mean, everybody has their phone. I was going through the airport, and you just don't have it, and you just stare. I mean, we were waiting in line, and you're just like looking ahead, and people are just like, all right, dude, what is wrong with you? I mean, just regular people are like, where's your phone? I'm like, I don't have it. I would like to talk to you, though. If you would talk to me, I'd love to chat for a little bit. She's the cheaper one of us as well. Not in a bad way, you know. She likes the lights being off. Turn the lights off, you know. Save money. Get the little lights off. It's a fun time being in that environment. Turn the light on, find your seat, get a stick, knock the light back off. Sit in the dark and be sad. You're sad all day. But you're saving nickels upon nickels. Right when I get in bed, you turn that light off, I can't tell that's on. Well, get out of bed, turn it off. 80 years, we'll give our daughter $37 from all the nickels we saved. Like if I'm millennial or Generation X. I've never even really heard any of those terms growing up. And now you hear them all the time. So I looked it up to try to see, I was like, what am I? And I'm technically nothing. I'm on a cusp. I'm a generation gap. And what we are called Zennials, or we're called the Oregon Trail generation, or we are called, my favorite name is the Lucky Ones. And it's true. We're very lucky. We actually grew up in two different worlds. When I was a kid, I grew up like it was the 50s. Like you would go outside and your parents just didn't know where you were. We went to school and played Oregon Trail on a computer at school. No one had a computer at home. It's like, what are you, a zillionaire? Like, I mean, you could. But then in high school, I had AOL. You know, we had a computer at home. Then I got a beeper. And then I got a cell phone. I didn't have social media until I was 26 with MySpace. You know, I mean, social media, like, whatever I did in high school is a rumor. It can't ruin my life. So if you're around my age, you might realize, like, you just end up always kind of being in the middle. Like, I understand when a Gen Xer says something, you're like, I get it. And millennial says something, you're like, no, I get it. You always just feel in the middle. And these groups all hate each other. And the most I've ever felt where I was in the middle was just this one hotel that I stayed at. So a lot of hotels now, they have Chromecast, and you can watch like Netflix in your hotel room. So I get in my room and I turn it on and my Chromecast is not working. So I call down to the front desk and the oldest voice I ever heard answered the phone. This guy was a Civil War survivor. I mean, he was the age where you just go, thank you for your service. And it's like, was in the Army? You're like, probably, man. I mean, there's an age where like they all had to go at that age, so just say it. So I tell him, I go, hey, my Chromecast is not working. And I could have just made up a word. I mean, he's never heard of that. I could have said, my beep bop broke. I mean, he asked if I was staying at that hotel. That's how he goes, are you staying here? I was like, do you think I've called the front desk from a different hotel room? He goes, look, I don't know what this is, but there's a younger guy here. I'm going to send him up. He'll be able to help you. And I was like, great. So that guy comes up and he knocks on my door. I open it. He's my dad's age. And I mean, right when I see him, you're like, all right, dude, we don't have to do this. You know, I mean, I know you've heard of it, but if I can't fix it, you're not going to be able to fix it. But he's the generation that still wants to give it a try. So I got to let him in. So he comes in my room, sits on my bed, a little too far back, I thought. I just remember like the back of his calves were touching the bed. And I was like, are your feet dangling? How far back are you going to go? Are you cold? You want some covers, man? He gets the remote and just starts pressing all the buttons. And I said, I don't know if that's going to do it. And he goes, let's just keep trying it, though. I go, all right. I'm going to turn the shower on, open a window. Let's try everything. You know, let's just see. Maybe it turns on. Who knows? Maybe it's all connected. So we can't get it. And he goes, all right. He goes, there's a younger guy. He's about to come to work. And at this point, I'm like, I'm the younger guy, man. I was like, it's all right, dude. I don't need it. And he goes, no, it's a millennial. And I was like, all right, now we're getting somewhere, you know? This is what the millennial does. He was born with technology. He's going to know how to fix this. I was excited. I was like, great. He goes, he comes to work in an hour. I go, wonderful. And let me tell you, you know how quick that millennial fixed it? Well, I'll never know because he just didn't come to work that night. So, and I found out because the old guy called me because he was supposed to fill in for him. He was furious, dude. He hates that millennial. He goes, he never comes to work. He doesn't take it serious. He's got a peanut allergy. And I was like, all right, well, I ended up fixing it myself because it was just unplugged. So that's my fault. I was in, and that's claustrophobia. It just kind of ruins everybody's time. It's what's funny, the panic of claustrophobia is pretty funny though. I mean, it's not funny when it's happened to you, but how quick you go from normal to just an insane person is it's all at the same time. So it's all kind of new to me, so I forget I have it. And I'll put myself in a situation and I go, there it is. I got an Uber once with like 7 people. And so we get in, I'll get in the third row trying to be a good guy. And I climb in the back, they put all the seats up and it just starts hitting me. And I mean, I'm back there, you're like, just trying to be normal, you know, you're not talking. And then you just go, hey, you think you could roll the window down? You know what? Can everybody just get out of the van real fast? I mean, we're just driving down the interstate. Hey, could y'all crack the window? Do you mind if I drive the Uber? Do you think I could drive it? I had a hard time in school. When I barely graduated, got into a community college, barely got into a college they have to let everybody in. I went to community college for 1 year. I have 0 credits. Community college, a lot of people don't know, is college when they're like, you're probably going to stay in your community. So We're just going to show you the ropes around town.
My name in their system is Nathan. And on my license, my name is Nathaniel. You can't just change it. I've asked Delta if they could change it, and they're like, we can't change it. What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate match. You can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because I'm at home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I do if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm going to paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm like, you couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in. And that's when I was going to start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m. And I would bet my life a light would cut on and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. 2020 has been my favorite year. Out of all the years, this has been the best one. I mean, there's aliens. They said there's UFOs. And no one cares. What kind of year could you have that you could sneak in? Hey, everybody, on the news. They're at the end of the news. They go, there's UFOs. And you're like, do they have COVID? And you're like, no. Like, I don't know. They won't get tested. But I told my wife that. I said, they said there's UFOs. And she just went about her day. I mean, you might even watch this and be like, I didn't even hear that. And that's the point. That's how amazing 2020 has been. I also feel this is a good year to see where your friends are at. Like you want to be in the middle, I think. And I've got friends that they take a shower with their mask on and they sleep with the mask on because they have a hamster and the hamster probably has it and they live alone. It's just them and the hamster. And I also have friends that I don't think have even heard about COVID. It looks like someone told them to try to go get it. That's how they're living. I have a lot of friends too that they tell me they already had it. They're like, I had it. I had a fever. February, had a fever for a couple hours, so probably had it. I had one friend, he told me he had it in 2015. Convinced. He goes, I had it in 2015. I was the first, and it just didn't catch on like it has now. But it's very nerve-wracking when a baby has to get a shot. Because, they just don't get it, she's just looking at us like this day is going pretty unbelievable. And I don't see how it's going to go wrong. As she's looking at the needle. And then you're like, it's about to go way wrong. So the needle goes in, she gets a shot. So we go to grab her, right, because we're ready for her to start crying. She blows us away. She doesn't cry at all. We're just baffled. We're sitting there I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. My wife was getting emotional. She was like, maybe this is a sign she's going to be a strong girl, a powerful woman. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Maybe she's going to be that. We all should think about maybe she's going to be a psycho. Who doesn't cry when they get a shot? Have you thought about that at all? That's what I'm worried about. Who's fine with pain already at 9 months old? When you have a baby, you want them to be healthy and not a serial killer. And I don't know which path we're going down right now. I know in 20 years, I'm either going to be look, telling her we love you and we're happy you've accomplished everything. Or I'm going to be on the news being we love you and you need to turn yourself in right now. Right this second. I knew that shot meant something.
The very funny Nate Bargatze.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It is, yes, the draft is in Nashville. It's very exciting. I like it. I'm from here, if that matters. All right. I'm a big football fan, and I've realized how lazy I am by watching football. I was watching a game, and one team kicked off to the other team. Right, I got up to go get something to drink, and right when I got up, one team kicked off to the other team. And before I could get back, the guy ran a 100-yard kickoff return, and I missed it.
So that guy ran 100 yards before I could get 3 to maybe 4 yards. He also had 11 people really trying not to let him run 100 yards. I didn't even have an ottoman. It was wide open. I need to get in better shape. I should do something. You know, you got to do something. But I realized recently I like to golf, and I would go golfing on the road. And one time I was golfing, and I was hot, and I was in the parking lot, and I wanted to change shirts before I got in my car. So I'm standing at the trunk of my car, and I take my shirt off. I have no shirt on, and this old man walks up to me and goes, "Olivia?" He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, "Olivia?" I covered up, and I was like, "What's that?" And he was like, "All right, honest mistake." I was like, "God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia." I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though. I'll tell you that. I'd love to see her and be like, "All right, I get it." You know, like that was an honest mistake. I do travel a lot. If I fly Delta, if I buy a ticket through Delta's system, my name in their system is Nathan, and on my license, my name is Nathaniel. I do not remember making this decision, but it's a big deal. You can't just change it. I've tried. I've asked Delta, and they were like, "We can't." And you're like, "All right, I don't know where we go from here. You know, if you can't do it, who can do it? Do you call a senator? Is that what senators do? I don't know. How high do I have to go?" What do you have to do? You have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their kids their birth certificates. I've never seen mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And you got to mail it in. I'm not a big mailing in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. Stamps make me nervous. You know, how many do you put on there? I don't know. And they change the price of stamps, and that's not in the news. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. Yeah, they'll tell you. They're like, "Stamps went up." You're like, "Okay." And they're furious. You're like, "Is it $100 a stamp? I've never seen you that mad." So I will never go through this process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets brought up. I was checking a bag once, and the guy behind the counter sees my ticket, says Nathan. The license says Nathaniel. And he was like, "Oof, this is not good." He's like, "These names don't match." And I was like, "But they match, right?" I mean, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, "But they're not the same." I was like, "They're the same." And I mean, at this point, I was like, if this guy finds out people call me Nate, he's going to lose his mind. Like, he's going to call the police to be like, "There's a guy with 3 names trying to fight. Like, if you guys want to shoot him or something." So I was like, "What do you want me to do?" And he goes, "You should go home." That was his honest. He's like, I mean, I can't believe you've made it this far. I said, "Let me try it. Shouldn't I just try it?" You know, I was like, "Look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. I mean, I think with 100% face, 70% of the name, that's 170%. I think I'll get through." And he was like, "Look, man, I get it, all right?" He was trying to relate to me. And this is honestly what he said. He was like, "My name's Joseph. That's what's on my license. But if I buy a ticket under my nickname Bart, they're not going to let me through." Those are two different names. I was like, don't act like we're the same. I am married as well, and it's fine. You know, you just do it. That's what my wife said. So just get through it. This is what marriage is like, you know, just one person talking and the other's like, I'm gonna get out of here. My wife she always tells me that I don't like the way she talks. And it's not the sound of her voice. I like her voice. I think that'd be a big problem if I was like, it's your voice. I just hate it, you know? To go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. For instance, we took a trip to Fort Lauderdale, and her and our daughter are flying from here, Nashville, where we're from. And I was flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? And she goes, noon. And it's 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. And she goes, that's what time we leave for the airport. Our flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, okay, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best information you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She was like, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? I don't know if... We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that. All right, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it.
Nashville, you made that. You made that person. Nate Bargatze. Good heavens.